How to win at the aging game? Are you kidding me? Is that even possible? Yes, it is. And today we'll look at 3 strategies that promise differing levels of success in that aging game. And at the end of this brief episode, I'll also recommend a few additional resources about successfully dealing with aging. Hi, this is Marlena from Becoming Who We Truly Are. If you're searching to better understand and to become your truest self, you've come to the right place. Please join me on this journey of discovery by clicking that like button below. It makes a big difference. My husband, Ed, just had a birthday, and he's now in his 80th year. How is that even possible? When I was young, 80 seemed really old. But clearly, the older we get, the higher that number gets that signifies old age. According to a Pew Research study, respondents who are 18 to 29 believe that the average person becomes old at the age of 60. Middle-aged respondents put the number closer to 70, and respondents that were 65 and above, they said that the average person doesn't become old until turning 74. That's not long before the average person dies. Sounds bad, right? But we're all getting older. And as Goldie Hawn said, it's wonderful to know you're aging because that means you're still on the planet. And there's more good news. Since we are going to age, we're going there anyway, it's important to know how to win at the aging game. Let's look at 3 choices we have, some of them leading to far better outcomes than others. First, we can go forward raging against dying. But does that really work? For a while, it might seem to put off the inevitable. One of the lessons Ed and I gleaned from the past 7 years of researching and writing the epic true story of Dr. John and Clara Schmidt in the book Called has been that none of us is ever too old to learn and to grow. If you've read that book, you know that they took on the rugged and exhausting pioneering work of saving a floundering hospital and the community surrounding it in East Paraguay, South America, when they were well into their 80s. But John and Clara's story also reminds us that raging against the dying of the light, as best-selling author Arthur C. Brooks says in his latest book, From Strength to Strength, that's also a sure strategy for ending our lives feeling miserably irrelevant. Brooks provides solid evidence that if we live long enough, the raw smarts of our youth will inevitably decline. Denying the facts and raging against that inevitability sets us up for frustration and disappointment in the end. Unfortunately, this was the fate of the heroic Dr. John Schmidt. The second option is to shrug and accept our lot. It's inevitable, so why fight it? Sure, we can give up our decline. We can experience aging as an unavoidable tragedy. If we follow this path, the likely outcome is to wither away, seemingly indifferent, but no doubt suffering privately. Our protagonist in Called, Dr. John, eventually capitulated and he gave in to the inevitable. In the end, he felt lonely and useless as his physical and mental decline no longer allowed him the adventures of taking on the new challenges that he craved. Option 3 is for us to recognize that what got us our early success won't work on the backside of life. This requires us to make what may seem like a scary transition from the strategies that led to our early achievements to new approaches that offer a path to satisfying and happy aging. The decline of the raw smarts of our youth they actually open a space for taking advantage of wisdom that's available to us from the many experiences over the years. The wider perspective that we've gained puts us in a great position as we age to, number one, contribute wisdom where we can and where it's sorely needed. Number two, to deepen our spiritual lives. And number three, to cultivate close relationships. Of those three, the single most important trait of elders who are happy is the third, healthy relationships. This includes the intimacy of marriage, but it also means that we invest in other close relationships with people whom we can count on and with whom we can grow together as we age. By the way, our next book, Healing the Wound, One Layer at a Time, which will launch sometime in the coming year, traces the inner life of Dr. John Schmidt. Based on his own writing and reflections, the book reconstructs scenes from the embattled life of this great hero, drawing inspiration and lessons for all of us to live a meaningful and personally gratifying life well into old age and beyond. To learn more about winning at the aging game, check out these resources. First, a TEDx presentation by David Sinclair, Is Aging Reversible? A Scientific Look. And second, we recommend our 2021 epic true story, Called. The web addresses of each of these are in the show notes below. And remember, we are together on this journey.